How are you guys doing, Nerdy and Derek?
Doing good. Good. Happy Wednesday.
Cool. Happy Wednesday, man. It's our Wayback Wednesday episode. Cool. How's everybody doing in the chat?
There's got 5 in the chat
Appreciate
right
you guys
now.
being here. Sweet, sweet. Um, I was just gonna mention it's Nerdy's Can Day.
We're doing it.
What you got in there, Nerdy? What's in the can today?
Wow.
You're not gonna tell us, are you? Had a sickening
not
feeling
yet.
you're not gonna
Right
tell
now.
us.
Right now, I'm just gonna let you hear it.
Okay, sweet. It's a little more mute than normal.
Yeah, I made sure it didn't sound like what it really is, so I didn't take it out of its packaging.
Okay.
There's a little
Little
clue.
hint. Little hint. Like it. And we'll be doing also a giveaway of the first Zeta drink on the show as well too. So,
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna go grab one now. You know, a chug, drink one while we're hanging out. If people are interested in it, if they don't want the drink, they can just get supplements. You know, it's no hard feelings either way. We've had a few people be interested and ask about how to get in touch. You guys can hit me up on Instagram, headbuster290, or my email address. I'll put it in the chat for you guys. And also, as always, you know, reach out to us, missingdreamschurch.org.
Since we already have 5 people here, I will go ahead and give one clue. I'll keep it hard.
Cool. I like letting the people who are like at the beginning get the first hint. Like it's a little perk for everybody.
It was invented in England. So, pretty vague.
It's in packaging. This is like, yeah. If that means anything, I guess everything's in packaging. You know, doesn't really narrow it down much. But what do you say, Derek?
Wooden teeth. I don't know if those were invented in England or not, but it seems like that would be the joke or something. My tripod is trying to one of the legs is getting gimp, so it starts to lean.
So, what do you win if you figure out what's in my can? That's a good thing to cover.
Good question.
I've got one of these things from HB. It's got a couple microdoses in it.
Oh, sick. It's got a little sticker in there as well too. Yeah.
I made sure I've switched out the sticker from one of those original ones you gave me because this one has the good.
Cool idea. I need to print out some more. So yeah, I'm getting down to the last little bit. Yeah.
And some Sacramento gummy worms. These are a half gram each. These are 100 milligrams.
I think there might be 2s.
Oh, these are 2. These are 200 milligrams each. Yeah, the other ones were 100.
So yeah,
these are a little bigger. Nice.
Yeah.
So that's a nice little pets line up. And it was half tangerine and half pomegranate, if I remember correctly. These ones are pretty old, so whoever wins this, please give me feedback. I need to know if it's still potent, and I'm pretty sure they are. And just let me know if they are or aren't. I just need to know.
Did you say the flavor already?
It's for science. Tangerine pomegranate, so it's half and half. And there's 2 in here, so it's like a gram's worth. Each gummy worm is a half gram, so each half of the worm is like it's like a quarter gram. Also going to include in this box my my ticket to when I was at Celestial Seasonings. This was my tour ticket.
Oh, cool.
It's actual.
I like that flavor a lot, actually. It's a really good flavor.
So I got a nice.
It's nice to have really. I use a cinnamon stick to stir it up.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah. And just
because
I got to keep it nerdy, I'm going to include a Smurf. So
cool.
I got to get rid of some of my attachments, right? So nice little.
Cool. I like it, dude.
Nice little lineup here, and I'm going to throw in some other stickers too, not shown.
Sweet.
Just random
and
ass
then
stickers that don't really mean anything. Just I have handfuls of stickers over here.
awesome. I'm gonna try to make some more. I got a couple more logo ideas and stuff that too. I'm gonna make as far as like HB logos stuff.
People
So
send me
people
stickers. I pick up stickers at events. Stickers.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I like it. And then later on in the show, we'll be giving away one of those Zeta drinks for everybody. So
Nice.
not for everyone, but for one person anyway. For everybody to get a chance to win. All right. We're about 5 minutes in or so, I guess. Appreciate everyone being here in the chat. Let me make sure to get everybody their credits. Nerdy, what's up, Nerdy? Derek, Oreo, Sam, what's up, buddy? Mike, cheers, everyone. Thank you all for being here. We're gonna go ahead and get to the reading. Unless you guys got something else to cover.
Oh, we're good.
I'm gonna get some cool shit at the end of the show. We're gonna talk about mycology, foraging, and a couple of little growing tips and questions that we had.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Some questions that you had gotten when you were doing that bin show the other day. And
from Mello.
Yeah, and those were some cool questions. I really liked them. It got
I
me thinking.
it, man. Yeah, dude.
It's
pushes the boundary of what's possible whenever you start to get a big group of people around, because we're all just like thinking the same way, and somebody else comes in thinking a whole different way from a different culture. You're like, wow, that's a crazy question.
Creative. That's creative.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll get into some other guys. This week, week 21, we're getting all the way through. Are we finally halfway through? No, we're not. Still not quite halfway through this book, but week 21, your strengths. Considering it was 52 weeks in a year, yeah, we're getting pretty close. Your strengths is this week. So there's a quote in here from Albert Einstein. Everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. It's very short reading here, but I want to read the prompt first, and then I'll read the story, and then I'll read the prompt again at the end. Today's prompt is, what are your strengths? And do you know what the strengths are of those around you? You guys can go ahead and answer that in the chat, and then I'll read this. A couple times a year, I reflect on where I am going and what strengths I believe I have that will help me in getting there. For example, when I wanted a leadership position, I wrote down every leadership quality I believe I had and how I could grow those skills. Alternatively, I'm very aware of where my weaknesses lie. I'm not a chief. In fact, I'm not a chef, and I don't even boil water. I get on by Whole Foods, Hot Bar, and eating out. And many people have seen this as a limitation and have tried to send me easy recipes and offered to come help me cook. And these are such sweet offerings. However, I have no desire to cook. And I know that my skills are low in this area, and I have no interest in increasing them. During this time of reflection, I also think of others and their strengths. Knowing their strengths and weaknesses helps me to align my efforts to make us the most productive, and allows us to create a positive culture in which it is okay to not be great at everything. And that's why we surround ourselves with people that are different than us, kind of like we were just talking about. It's going to be a full story here. If I ever judge others or myself by weaknesses, the results would not be positive. But the opposite is also true. Knowing the strengths and weaknesses of those around you and yourself is an incredible skill. Praise people for their strengths and never make them feel bad about their weaknesses. What are your strengths, and do you know the strengths of those who are around you? That's today's prompt.
I think one of my
patience.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yours is patience.
Yeah, I think I have a good amount of patience sometimes.
I would agree with that, for sure.
Yeah,
it's one of the things I admire about you, for sure.
I definitely see that. Yeah. I think one of my strengths is I'm really good at not pointing out other people's flaws generally. and I am really good at overlooking other people's flaws and seeing their strengths. A lot of people struggle with that.
A lot of people struggle
I
think about themselves.
Yeah.
very true. Very true.
What's
My
your
generalized one that I said was, that I don't really like. I listen to people's inputs and inferences, but at the end of the day, I'm just me and I do things myself. Like the way I do things, the way I think about things, the type of music that I like, and the music that I create, and the art that I make and create. It's all me and who I am. And I love to be able to listen to people who like are way more knowledgeable and take their inferences and put it into perspective, or whatever. But I like to like craft it and still create it, and make it my own. That's what
Yeah.
like I think it's my best strength that I have is being able to do what I talk about with the old school and the new school. Like take what people have already learned and mix it with, what can we bring that's we're constantly learning about this. So kind of my strength, I think. My overall, of course, there's tons of things, right? Um, and they talk.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, man.
You could have took a Snapple and added psilocybin and called it your own drink, but I mean, you made your own thing. You put in
Well, it's right. It's kind of what I was going to get into, but first I wanted to talk about how she talked about how she wasn't really a great cook. She relied on the hot bar, but people were like, "Hey, I'll help you." She's like, "I listen. It's not that. It's like I don't have the desire to want to cook. You don't understand." So it's like there's a little bit of that in certain aspects of me when what I don't do. Like I have that way. I'm with mechanics and cars. Like I'm a construction guy, and if I have to build something or fix something or something like that, I'm good. But when it comes to cars, I'm like, I don't want to learn how to do that. I don't care how it works. You can explain it to me and say it's simple and all. I don't care, dude. I don't want to learn that. And I'm
gonna
always
stay
that
in
way,
my
and I've been
lane.
that way.
I
Yeah,
know
100%.
people that know how to do that, and I'm going to rely on those people. I don't need to
100%.
know, I don't need to know how to do everything.
Now, as I
Trust me,
always
I
say,
tried.
you're 100%. You're never better for not knowing something, as I always say. So if you want to explain it to me and you want to like inform me on how it works, I'm always wanting to know. But I don't give a shit because I'm not going to put my hands on that wrench to do it.
Honestly,
But
I think that's one of my biggest weaknesses is that I try to do everything myself all the time, and I try to learn
it
everything.
can be for
And
sure,
I'm like,
dude.
I gotta stop trying to do everything all the time.
So
I gotta slow down and focus on one or
yeah,
two
man.
things at a time, one project at a time.
So I want to make the same opposite argument because of what Derek was saying about my teas and stuff. And this is what I think about when I craft music. It's like I talk about this on Riffing with HB, dude. People don't come in there and say, HB, your music's a little too grungy. Why don't you make it a little bit more pop? Because it wouldn't be my music at that point. And I love when people give me inferences like, hey, your stuff's like really super grungy or whatever they want to give me their inferences on. And I can take that. But when you start to tell me how to do it, then it becomes like just what Derek was saying. It's like if people came up to me and told me how to do Zeta and told me how to craft this, it wouldn't be what it is. It would be something different. It wouldn't be Zeta. It would be a totally different drink by a totally different person. And, it's like me, my passion. This is what I'm putting in this stuff. And I love people's inputs. Like it's part of it, right? As I have to listen to what people are saying and what they think about the product. But at the same time, I don't have to change anything if I don't want to. I'm not, it's this, you either like it or you don't, damn it. That kind of thing. Yeah. I like that attitude. You want to go ahead and shake the can again and then get people, how many clues do you have? Do you have 3 clues for this?
So right
you
now,
could drop another clue in there if you'd like.
The first clue I gave was kind of like a half clue, is that it sounds funny. It sounds muted because I didn't take it out of its packaging. And it was invented in England.
What was the second?
That was the second clue I gave. Third clue, it was invented for school children. What time is it? Yeah, I'll hold off on being a little more specific on that one.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, we still got time. I mean, we're only about 15 minutes in. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I thought about that. There's a lot of strengths that I have. It's like and that's a big thing that comes back to me is like I think about it, at the end of the day, you can take my money from me, you can take all my possessions, everything I have, but you can't take away who I am. And that's genuine. Like there are very few people that live by that. There's so many people that will sell their friends out for $1, or they'll, sacrifice their dreams for doing something that gets them a lot more attention or something like that. It's kind of the world we live in, and it's the world I'm trying to combat. So I'm nothing if not genuine. I might not be perfect. I might not be the happiest person. I might not always like nail my 4 agreements whenever I practice them, but just do my best. And yep, that's all you can do, dude. And if everybody in the chat's doing that, that's really I talk about the fourth agreement so much, because if you're doing that, then you live without regrets.
Yeah,
That means the last day you're on this earth, you're like, I did my best. I gave it all.
It's one of the most important ones, really.
Yeah, you leave everything on the table.
If you master that one, you stop suffering.
Yep, for sure. And then the other agreements come a lot easier. I know it's kind of like working backwards up the chart. I mean, obviously we have to learn from one down the way, but yeah, doing your best helps you be impeccable with your word and be not taking things personally and don't make assumptions, and all that really does help. When you're like, because if you think about it, you're like, oh, how am I not supposed to ever take anything personally? It's like you just take it one day at one situation at a time, As you're gonna have days where it's like you're gonna slip up, and no one's perfect, but you just keep practicing that. What's people in the chat saying? What's their answers? The way I see it, everyone has some talent or specialty they contribute into the world. Good point, man. Everyone has the potential. They just have to find your gift. And it's probably right there in front of your face, dude. Whatever that thing is.
Yeah, right. It's the thing that you love, and it doesn't seem like work. You just do it because you want to.
It's probably obvious.
And just like, yeah, because the best friendships we have aren't the friendships that we go, oh, you're my best friend, because those friends are really quickly fade. Sometimes the best friendships we have are like, oh, I don't know what I think about that person. And you're like, next time you see them, like, kind of like that person. Like, oh shit, I really like them. They're cool, and those like build to be the best friendships. And the same thing with our hobbies and things that we do. It's something we just like walk by in the streets and go see somebody painting. And you're like, oh, cool, somebody painting, whatever. And then you walk by and you're like, that would be cool to do. And then you go get paintbrushes and you're like, oh, and then it starts to become your fucking life. You're looking back and I'm like, I don't even remember how I got started. Maybe some incident like that.
Right.
We got a guess here?
That's a guess.
Describe
but
Dale
not
and Brennan
correct.
On Step Brothers. They started off liking each other, and then did we just become best friends?
We just become best friends. Yeah, it kind of is like a little sped up, but yeah, same concept, dude. Yeah, 100%. Some of the best songs I listen to, the best bands, I'm like, I like them. I don't know how I feel about them. And then later on, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. I like this shit. So we got Tootsie Rolls as a guess. What's that one that was just up there, Nerdy?
Oh, okay. So I'll just
Little Bible of New England.
First one was Tootsie Roll.
Could be anything, though, I guess, right? Yeah.
Butterscotch. Next one was Eraser. Then
I thought Eraser.
Little Bible of New England.
Eraser was my guess.
I gave Derek a clue, and he guessed it on the first try.
He's good at this, I've noticed.
Right before the show.
Of course, it was doing the show. Yeah.
I was like, wow. Holy crap.
He's like Jeopardy sport.
Yeah, man. But it was a pretty
I'll take what's in Nerdy's can for 500.
I kind of channeled my inner Nerdy. Like yesterday, Nerdy was sick, and then he got me sick. He got me sick.
Yeah.
I was proud of.
Oh my gosh.
We're like on the same wavelength.
Yesterday, I went on, and I was gonna go on there to upload my my scripture for Bible study, and then I see HB was on, and I was like, wow, awesome, what a treat. So I was able to catch HB on, and then by the time it come around to 9 o'clock, I was not feeling well.
And I missed your message, dude.
Yeah, I was in bed.
I asked these guys if they wanted to go live to fill in for me, but yeah, I couldn't have done it last night. But I mean, that was just pretty cool. Like I go on there to do that, and then I see HB live. Another thing about last night was like when I was preparing, I was looking at Psalm 40, different things on Psalm 40, and U2 back in the 80s, they made a song called 40, and that is based off of Psalm 40, and it is a really good song. Like they use it to end their shows, um, but it has some of the Psalm 40 in it, and it's a
That's
real
cool.
good. And then so
Pretty cool.
I asked my son to download I Can Only Imagine 2, which is the new movie to come out. Um, it's that Christian song I Can Only Imagine. So there's a movie I Can Only Imagine, and then I Can Only Imagine 2 just come out. My son downloads it. I stopped watching it. That song is in the movie, and I don't think I've ever heard that song before yesterday. And it was like, wow, that was crazy.
I can't wait. We got to get a copyright license. We can start playing this stuff on the show, man. Like you could have it playing in the background while you're doing your show.
Yeah.
Be nice. I mean, it's not an astronomical amount, but it's like more than we could justify spending right now. But soon, hopefully. Some good guesses, guys. This is all that I'm thinking too. Like this is all the kind of stuff that I'm thinking.
Mike Barba wants a reminder what the clues were. Clue 1. Clue 2 is it's still in its packaging, so it doesn't sound the way you think it would in the can, and you wouldn't think it would fit in the can because it's a whole other thing. But so clue 1, sound. Clue 2, it's in its packaging. Clue 3, it was made in England or invented in England. Clue 4, it was invented for school children.
I mean, how close are the guesses that they're doing right now? I mean, they have to be all over it. Erasers, pencils.
Not a primer. Buju Bantan. No, don't know what that is. But the prize is going to be a Smurf because I got to keep it nerdy. Got some Sacramento capsules from HB with one of his Nebula stickers.
Cheers. Those are homegrown, by the way, too.
Nice. I got a couple gummy worms in here. They're dosed with the Sacrament. These are a 0.5 gram per worm. So each half of the worm, each color, like half pomegranate, half tangerine. It's a 1/4 gram piece. So it's kind of like a little bit more than a microdose for each half a worm. And also some tea for the tea crew. I got it directly from the source, Celestial Seasonings Factory. This was my tour ticket. I thought that was adorable. I love that about that. The tour ticket was the tea.
It's one of my favorite flavors by them. Maybe my favorite flavor, honestly.
It's not something you stick in your mouth. It's not a cough drop.
Yeah, not a cough drop. Exactly.
Yeah, more than likely, if it has to do with kids in school, it's probably none that you put in your mouth. It's not a candy anyway. Basketball card is a good guess. These are all great guesses.
I think basketball cards were invented in Japan. Maybe. Menko. That's what started all the trading cards and stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Also Pogs.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Nerd.
I did a lot of studying and research into playing.
But you see how I reacted? I was like, "Wow, that's interesting." No shit.
remember Pogs? Pogs were basically a form of
yeah, dude,
yeah. The original cards were actually round and they were big and flat.
Yeah, my dad had a huge collection. Yeah, 100% did.
Cold War iodine tab.
No,
school children.
Everybody get out of your nest.
Yeah. It was designed to fit in your pocket. Or, a school child pocket, basically. So it's small.
Little pocket.
A little pocket. Yeah. It was invented because of the restrictions the school had put in place, so that kids were no longer allowed to bring toys over a certain size. So that's another big clue, because it's a toy and it's supposed to fit in your pocket. Kind of like this guy, but it's not a Smurf.
A chalkboard, yeah.
My elementary school near military base, and we used to have drills like get under your desk in case there was a bomb.
Oh yeah. Oh, bomb, really?
Yeah.
We used to have them for tornadoes. Earthquake, actually. It's an earthquake that you got on your desk. For tornadoes, what they made you do is they made everybody get in the hallway and they put books on top of your head.
Duck and cover.
Yeah.
Speaking of pencil sharpeners.
As if that was going to do anything, I think about it.
My favorite pencil sharpener. I have a favorite pencil sharpener.
It's a rubber ducky. Oh, the staple. Awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is legit, like 1984, 1980. My eyes aren't working.
Ray says, is it a pencil topper?
1987. Yeah. Freaking love this thing.
Are they pencil toppers?
I think it glows. Yeah, it's a pencil sharpener.
No,
this is not what's in the can. Oh no.
Yeah.
So we got more glasses here. Let's see. We have
pencil toppers, marbles.
I'm guessing yo-yo, not a yo-yo.
Troll
for a pencil top, not a troll for a pencil top. Though I do have those. No. Notebook. No. Not marbles. Not marbles this time. I do have plenty of marbles on my shelf though. Ball and jacks? No. All right, I think it's time for another clue. It is 1/64 scale. This one should be a dead giveaway. And it was invented. Let's see what year it was invented. In 1953.
I would love to have some from back then.
Yeah, that would be so cool. 1953.
Nerdy's like, I can't remember what I was doing that day. Yeah, what was I doing at 53? Nerdy said, oh shit, he's reminiscing.
I think I was riding my dinosaur.
Hell yeah, bro, that's what I'm talking about. Fuck yeah.
Mello's getting closer with the model, but it's not a model. Mike Baraball. I like you're going with the silly putty. Army Man, that's cool. I like that. Marx. I don't know if Marx was in. I think there was an American.
1/64th model.
I'm pretty sure that Army Men were invented in America by Marx Toy Company.
Yeah, we talked about this before. I don't know if you fact checked that though.
Huh?
We just talked about that on like a couple episodes ago, but I don't remember if we fact checked it or not. To see if that was the case.
Marx Toy Company started toy figures. The Army Men. I'm gonna look that up right now.
I forget how we got to that topic, but yeah, we were just talking about it.
I don't remember that. Bergen Toy and Novelty Company. 1938. Yeah, not Marks. Not Marks. Interesting.
They're probably the ones who popularized it.
Probably, or they just like perfected it with their
Right.
injection molding techniques or something.
Right. Yeah. Making it cheaper, quicker, faster, whatever.
I do have some Marks toys. I think I got rid of my soldiers. I did have some vintage Marks soldiers at one point. But I've got some Marks dinosaurs. They're so much better than soldiers. Stegosaurus. And
heck yeah.
I got a toy. Hold on.
So no, I can only imagine what Derek's about to bring back, dude. He's gonna bring his motorcycle to this motherfucker. Like, look at my toy.
Megatherian, a ground sloth.
Yeah, look at that, dude.
Freaking love it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
A lot of the plants here in North America are based around the animal right there. Avocados and stuff like that.
Someone had mentioned pencil toppers, so I'll have to break out my pencil toppers a little bit. I got my plesiosaur. I freaking love this thing. What is that? Is that one of the? That is awesome. I love it.
It's the sickest Hot Wheel track I've ever seen in my fucking life, dude. Let me get that. I used to play with the Hot Wheels track whenever I was younger, for sure. Building them and see how far you can make them. Shit like that. I collected a bunch of them. I probably had 50 or more Hot Wheels cars.
No. Good guess, though, Ray Cook. Welcome. Happy Wednesday.
Cheers.
Modeling clay, Mela says. No.
This is a hard one, man. I think you got to get them better guess than this.
Panther. Oh, hold on.
Is there something you can give him better without getting too close to it?
Hot Wheels car.
Wow, I even said it.
AKA
crazy. That is wild.
So they were invented by Matchbox Company, of course, because they were the toys were too big. The kids were bringing too big of toys to school. So they were told that the toys they could bring had to be smaller than a Matchbox. And
yeah, I do remember that.
Mattel and Hot Wheels used to be major competitors until Mattel bought out Matchbox, and now they make them both. And currently, in this day, Matchbox is more classic cars, and Hot Wheels is more like fantasy and souped up sports cars and stuff like that. But Hot Wheels kicked Matchbox's ass when they came out because they had better wheels and their cars were faster, and they were based on actual sports cars. The original Matchbox cars were like dump trucks and cement mixers and things like that. But yeah, so good one, Mike Baraball. So Mike Baraball, I am going to be sending you a Smurf HB's capsules with a sticker inside, some gummies, and some tea. And you need to let me know when you get this, when you try these gummies, Mike. I really need to know if they're still good. I'm pretty sure I sent him some gummies last time I sent him some. So they're the same gummies from the same batch. Let me know if they're still good. Yeah, you're the perfect person for me to send these to.
Perfect. And congratulations too, by the way.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mike. I'm sorry, Nerdy, if I gave it away.
No, that was good.
It's crazy because I said it out of my own mouth and I wasn't even thinking like that's what it could be in there. I would have never thought because you said it's in the packaging still, but I didn't think it would be that kind of packaging. So yeah, that's what threw me off.
Just a simple fold. Oh, the cool thing about this one is you can put a Lego figure on the front of the car.
Oh, okay.
It looks like he's like hood surfing.
Now, see, I would have guessed it was an El Camino.
See, the El Caminos, I can't bend the packaging. I have to keep it pristine. I got to keep it nice.
Cool. Congratulations, man.
I've got a couple of El Caminos. I got 1, 2, 3, at least 3. One of them I modded with some laser cannons.
So you got a little VW microbus.
Yeah. I got to show you the laser cannon. So you can tell it's a laser cannon because it's got a little Duracell battery on it.
Dude, fucking 5-year-old me would have killed you for that fucking truck right there, dude. Like, whatever I have to do we have to duel to the death for that thing?
Yes, that's exactly it.
I would.
Now, I'm not that much into it, but one of my friends I always used to work with, he was super into that kind of stuff, Hot Wheels and stuff, collected a bunch of them. So I've seen people that there is a market for it. I've seen people collect them.
There's a game called Gaslands. It's a tabletop RPG, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons or Warhammer. But you basically you buy Hot Wheels cars and you customize them. You
Sounds
sand them
like the
down
most nerdy fucking bullshit I've ever heard in my whole fucking life, man.
It's like Mad Max rules where you're trying. It's like Demolition Derby, but it's like Mad Max.
Oh my
You're just trying to
gosh.
destroy each other. You can either win the race or you destroy your competitors. Either way, you win.
It's kind of crazy.
So hence the laser cannon. It's future. But there's different.
So it's something you bring your kids to.
Yeah,
let them do.
I think it'd be fun to get a group together to start hey, let's do Gaslands night.
But you do it just like D&D?
It's it has different rules, but yeah,
I have to see what you're talking about.
You can download the rules for free online. And it's
cool.
It's similar. It has like a manual, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons. You just download it, but like there's templates for like you roll the dice to see if you succeed with your maneuver you're trying to do. If like different maneuvers have different ratings and difficulties and stuff depending on how fast you're going. If you're going really, really fast and you do a sharp turn, you're likely to spin out or wreck or something like that.
Right.
But if you're going slow, you basically can do any maneuver you want with ease. It just depends. But there's templates where like you have to place the template right in front of your car, and you're at the end of the template. So it's like what turn do you want to do, and you just use that little template. If you want to go the other direction, just flip it. It's really simple. But making the teams and decking out your cars with the weapons is the fun part.
Cheers, man. You deserve to win. If everybody didn't guess, then that's on them. What we're gonna do for mine, we're gonna let you sit out, and then we'll let somebody else get a chance, and then I'm gonna do a dice roll. We'll do it in like maybe 10 minutes or so. I kind of want to discuss what Mello had a question about. Is Mello here in the chat?
Yep.
I believe I saw her here, right? So Mello, I talked to Nerdy about your questions. Do you want to just take it from here?
Sure.
Or do you want me to kind of reiterate a little bit? So basically, here are two questions. Where one of them being peak potency, when to pick a mushroom. Do essentially smaller mushrooms have the same potency as a big mushroom? If you let them grow big, when's the best time to pick them and to get the peak potency? And her second question was, could you use a coconut to grow liquid cultures or things like that? Because the inside of a coconut is essentially sterile, so you can inject through the top of the coconut through one of the portholes, and then. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about this. I got Nerdy to answer these questions that I couldn't answer yesterday, so take it away.
So I'm going to start with the first question.
It's a great question, dude.
I'm going back to the Discord where you asked me.
Well, actually, it wasn't the first question, but yes, it was the first one that I gave you.
First question that you asked me in the Discord was the coconut one, and I just love this question, so I'm going to start there. So, can I grow mushrooms in a coconut, like cultures and stuff? It's technically sterile, so could you inject it through the holes and do cultures that way? I love that question. So I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the inside is sterile. I think you're right about that.
At least I'm 90% sure that's what her question was that she was asking you. I want to let her clarify, but yeah.
But I can think of a ton of reasons why you shouldn't do it. But I'm not going to go into it first. The first thing I'm going to say is I think it's possible for the purpose of creating like an all-natural liquid culture. Basically, it's its own container built by nature.
Like how wonderful.
And your own, high nutrition liquid with inside it already. So why wouldn't you be able to just take a liquid culture syringe, inject it into the coconut? For one, the outside of the coconut is extremely filthy. So what I would do is I would take like a butane torch or a propane torch and just torch it. and then just inject it with that liquid culture. If the coconut is still soft enough, like it's fresh, not hard, and you can actually get through the husk, you basically got yourself an all natural liquid culture. And then I would probably like melt some wax on the hole or something like that, just to seal it up. But one of the problems with that is there's no air except the air that's already in it. The liquid, the LC is going to need a little bit of oxygen to grow, but not much. It'll still grow. Like, liquid cultures still grow inside the syringes, so it's not that big of a deal. But the big problem with it is you can't see through the side of the husk. You don't know when it's ready. You don't know how much it's grown.
Yeah.
You don't know when to open it up. And when you open it up, how are you going to get it out clean? That's another big question. You could probably take another syringe with a big needle and suck it out, maybe. But it just seems like a lot more work than is necessary. I have heard of people buying coconut water from the store in plastic bottles and just using that, and I've heard it works. So if you're just looking for a discreet way to make liquid culture without any work, you could just buy a bottle of coconut water and use your still air box, and that should
Very
work.
cool, man. I like it.
Next
So that's
question.
what basically your answer is that you could do it, but it's not necessary. It's kind of a lot of extra work, a lot of guesswork. But I do have one clarifying question. If you were to put that inside of that coconut, is there a time and temperature that you could give it that you could estimate approximately how long it would take for it to form?
Without doing any tests beforehand and figuring out how fast liquid culture grows in coconut water, like not inside of a
In
coconut,
general,
I wouldn't
right?
really be able to estimate
Further
that.
experimentation
But
would be needed.
as long
Okay.
as it's like, like 60 to 70 degrees, Fahrenheit, it should work. I would think.
About what? A couple weeks? 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, liquid culture grows faster than that. I would say a week or two.
Well, okay.
But liquid culture grows fast, really, really fast, especially if you're regularly
Sweet.
agitating it, because it needs to be oxygenated. But another thing that I forgot to mention is that you're unlikely to get mushrooms to grow out of the coconut itself, because most mushrooms do not like the fat that's in the coconut meat. So the fact that it's completely covered in that coconut meat on the inside, mushrooms probably won't ever escape the coconut itself. I did look up to see if anybody had ever done that before, and I've never heard of anybody being successful with growing mushrooms on coconut meat. Coconut coir, great substrate for growing mushrooms, but not coconut meat, like the stuff you'd actually eat. It's just too fatty, generally. The other question.
Great stuff. Great question, too, by the way. I mean, what a great, unique mind.
Was, when is the peak potency for a mushroom? Are big ones as potent as small ones? My answer, I'm just going to kind of read it here, and I'll maybe just, fill in the gaps. Generally speaking, the best time to pick a mushroom is right before it starts producing spores. And for most mushrooms, that is right before or right as the skirt or the annulus or the veil, whatever you want to call it, right before that drops away from the top of the cap. The production of spores does take away an infinitesimal, just a tiny, tiny bit of potency. And the bigger it gets, you're not really gaining any more alkaloids. It's just getting bigger.
After that point.
Yeah, after that point, you're not really gaining anything from it getting bigger. You're just getting extra weight. So if what matters is how much dry weight you're getting out of your tub, then yeah, let it grow a little longer. But the end user won't have as good of effects by weight.
Speaks to the wonders of mushrooms and how they work.
Right. But
basically just
generally
coming from nothing in a week.
As long as you're picking it around that time, the potency doesn't really matter whether it's a tiny mushroom or a big mushroom, as long as you're comparing the same mushrooms of the same species or variety. Some people swear that the aborted mushrooms, the little itty bitty ones that didn't grow up and they never grew into mature mushrooms. I used to just collect those ones when I was done harvesting my tubs and just dry them all at once and then make capsules out of those ones. And I swear that they were more potent. But the science doesn't back it up. No one's actually been able to prove that the aborted pins are stronger. I've known of plenty of gigantic mushrooms that were just as potent as the little ones or stronger, but it's not necessarily dependent on the size at all. It's more about the species or the variety. The strongest mushrooms I've ever grown and I've ever had were also the tiniest mushrooms I've ever grown. They are a different species than what most people grow. It's Paniolus cyanescens. TTBVI specifically is the exact strain of Paniolus cyanescens that's the strongest. It's been testing like 5 times stronger than cubensis. But TTBVI means tamarind tree, British Virgin Islands. That is where they found the mushroom, they harvested it, and then they've been propagating it ever since. And it was found in the British Virgin Islands, so that's kind of close to mellow. But yeah, so the crazy thing is they are so tiny, and the potency. They're so strong. It's more like acid than mushrooms, but they're crazy strong and super bitter. So you can't really tell how potent they are by looking at it by weight. So one of the things I mentioned to HB earlier was that there are also exceptions. So like, just because a mushroom loses a little bit of potency when it creates spores, so what about the mushrooms like Enigma that never produce spores or gills or there's some mushrooms that will produce spores, but they never drop them. But then there's other mushrooms that just never produce spores at all. So those ones will never lose that potency once they open up. So I've heard of people
They keep
letting
just
them.
gaining and gaining and gaining, essentially, right?
I would think as long as it doesn't start getting mushy and starting to like be reclaimed, there's a certain level of maturity that it's going to start shriveling up. So you need to catch it before that. So you need to know the more times you grow that specific species or variety, the more that you're going to be familiar with it, and the more you'll know when to pick that specific one. So it's
and again, just for shits and gigs, can you give us a generalized window, just for like,
for how, what, for like when you
like,
should pick it?
Yeah, when's too early for sure, and when's too well, obviously you just said too late
Well,
is out
too
after
early
the
is like
spores.
when the cap is so tiny that it's not even really a cap; it's just a little nub. It's like a little ball. You
Okay.
really want to be able to see it trying to open up. Like
Stretch.
the ghost mushrooms in my Tommy knocker, they never open up. They just kind of
Like a jellyfish.
they just kind of like go flat on the bottom. They look like a sheet. They're just flat. But you can tell they're mature because they're starting to turn a little blue on the sides. If you see them turning blue, you know that like they're ripe. It's time to pick. If they turn too blue, they're probably starting to be reclaimed by the cake itself.
Okay.
And then there's like like Enigma, so it never produces spores at all. That one, as far as I know, the older Enigma gets, the better it gets. And that's the one that grows
That's some
super
pretty big
duper
ones
slow.
going right now, dude.
And generally speaking, though not always, the slower a mushroom grows, the more potent it is, but not always. But it does tend to fall in that direction. I just can't say like, that's the way it always is, because it's not.
I got you.
But that's why a lot of the mutants like Enigma, they are so much more potent because they have so much more time to just pack in more alkaloids. Let's see. I'm gonna go look at the chat.
You got a parrot in the background? It's not a parrot. It's a little cute dog. That's kind of sound like that every once in a while. That little dog gets mad. You don't get attention.
Spoiled. They're spoiled.
Yeah, that's how it is. Let's go ahead and do a giveaway for. Oh, look at the little guy.
Yes, picture of
So a giveaway for one of these Zetas. So if you guys want it, don't put it in unless you want the Zeta. But if you guys want it, we'll do 1 through 20 on a piece of dice right here. I'll roll it here in just a second. All right, we're good to go. You guys can go ahead and start guessing.
All right. If you're going to pay attention to the chat, I'm going to keep talking about mushrooms. So
yes, please, dude.
Last summer, I found Paniolus cinctalis, which is closely related to that Paniolus cyanescens, that super potent one I was talking about. Paniola cinctulus is not a potent mushroom. It's like weaker than what most people grow. That tub that I was growing, it contaminated. That's an update. I didn't get any mushrooms out of it because it contaminated. I don't get contaminated tubs very often, but when you're working with manure, you're far more likely to get contamination. And with Paniolus is known for being needing manure. But I was going through some of my old cups, my old agar cups, and I was just poured some agar today, and I realized that I'm looking at some of my Paniolus cinctulus cups, and it looked like there was like little balls on it. And one of them, the little balls were on the bottom of the cup, like lifting up the agar. I'm like, that's really interesting. This almost seems like sclerotia. But Paniolus doesn't create sclerotia that I'm aware of. So I was like, okay, well, the curiosity got the best of me. I Google searched it, and it turns out there's one species of Paniolus that produces sclerotia, and it's Paniolus cinctulus.
Hey, let me stop you right there. We got a winner in the chat. Mello, she picked it. It's number 19, and I can show the dice right here. But she says that she said if she won, she would give it to somebody. So you can pick who you want in the chat to give it away to. Continue, Nerdy.
So it turns out that I was at my instincts were right. Those were probably sclerotia, and they were little black balls on top of the agar and underneath the agar. And the way that it was described is they call them black pearls. And I'm like, that's freaking cool. And they're really, really tiny sclerotia, but apparently I can grow these mushrooms in like a jar and try to get them to force them into producing sclerotia. And it'll be like a new kind of truffle that I didn't know existed, and it's like grows all over America.
Very cool.
And the sclerotia might be more potent than the mushrooms themselves.
Cold and warm environments? It's pretty rare.
Yeah. I found it here in Denver.
Hey, can you send it to Pops? I'm already going to send Pops some. I'm going to send Pops a 6-pack to try out. Pick somebody else, please, if you don't mind. That's a good thought. But yeah, I'm going to send him a 6-pack. I'm going to send him some to pass out on the T-Cruise. So
I did some transfers of just the little sclerotia, and we'll see where that goes. We'll see. I'm still hopeful. I still want to experiment with the Paniolus cinctulus a lot more. I feel like there's a lot of potential with the alkaloids that most people don't know about, like baeocystin and arugacin.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
So just because it doesn't have those other ones, I think it has potential for these ones.
And again, like I don't like to give too much of my secret recipe away with my drink, but one of the ingredients in there is MAO, right? So you need the I, and some of the active chemicals that you're talking about inside of mushrooms are the I. They create the I, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is why some strains are stronger than others. And I'm not familiar with which ones, but depending on the mushroom strain.
Those are the SG30s that I grew. Nice. You can see they didn't just go blue; they went like black.
Mm-hmm.
And those things, they were something. Yeah, but I probably could have pulled them
sooner. Okay,
Sanum. Good call.
I think it's a great idea, dude. I think it's a great call.
I really appreciate that pick. Sharon will appreciate that. Sharon is loved. My family loves. Cool. We've hung out with Sharon on multiple occasions. Like the whole family, I love Sharon.
I agree, dude. I think that's a great guess, dude. Or not great guess, but great gift, I guess. Appreciate you and congratulations on your win anyway. It kind of sucks, dude. Like I got a couple friends in Australia too. It's like be nice to be able to ship people stuff in other countries, but you know, sooner or later, hopefully, we'll see how things go. And appreciate your kindness for playing along anyway.
I wonder how much it would cost to send Mello a rock. Because I saw that earlier in the chat, Mello said that she likes rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got some cool rocks from Colorado.
It's not as bad as Australia. Australia really is bad. Even just trying to ship one little thing.
Yeah, it's real expensive.
But out of state is out of the states is horrible.
In the States right now is horrible too.
Hey, for real, honestly. Yeah. Which again, we appreciate everybody's support in the chat. Everybody paying for memberships. That's where the money goes back into shipping and package. So we appreciate y'all.
So HP, you got like bubble wrap or something you're gonna put around the bottles when you ship them? Something
yes,
like
sir.
that?
Yeah. If there's anything happens, just send me pictures of it, and then we'll try to get you guys another one shipped out. Solved an experiment, so we're going to try to make it where people out of state are not going to get them with labels. They're just going to get them with cards and a QR code. Trying to make it all legal. Or if it has labels, we'll adjust what it says on there to make it, legal for out of state.
You can have we can create a page on the website that the QR code goes to. It's like an informational page or something that says for sacramental purposes or something.
Right, exactly right.
Help CYA.
Cool. I never even did put my email in the chat for everybody. Let me go grab my other phone and do that.
Let's see. There was a Smurf made.
Somebody was saying that they didn't have Instagram. So if you guys need to be able to get in touch with me about these soda drinks, and you can just email me my personal email. It's a Yahoo email, and then also you can get in touch with us at mystydrinkschurch.org. We're selling them with the memberships. They're actually not for sale technically. They come with the memberships for free. Yeah, so it works.
These Smurfs are made in Germany, by the way. It's a really, really popular toy company. If you ever see Smurfs in the wild, like at thrift stores and stuff, they're always nice to snatch up. This one came from a thrift store a while back. You can see a little bit of a highlighter on the back of his head. But made in Germany, Schleich, they make a lot of like dinosaur, like super realistic dinosaur and animal figures. They sell it like at art supply stores and stuff, But they also have they've been making Smurfs since the beginning. Those Germans know how to make toys. But yeah, PVC plastic. I don't even know what kind of plastic it's made out of.
And gummies. Gummies too.
Gummies, yes. I love those gummies from Haribo. Germany as well. Yeah, I think Peyo might have been a Swiss guy. The guy that actually invented the Smurfs. I think he was Swiss. let me look it up. I don't want to mislead anybody about the
Smurfs. Talking out of pocket, as I say.
Right.
Fuck, if anybody would know, it'd be you, dude.
Smurfs were big when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too.
That was one of those when you had to get up Saturday morning to watch it.
Well, they made a comeback whenever I was younger, man. They made like a newer version of it. I forget what it was even called. It was pretty good.
They had some Smurf movies or Smurf holiday shows and stuff like that too.
Spinoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wrong. I apologize. He was Belgian. He's a Belgian comic artist. Created the Smurfs in 1958.
What is it based on? Is it like a psychedelic thing, or is it literally just like a fairy tale?
Side characters in his medieval series, Johann and Peewit, blue creatures became a global phenomenon. Peyo created many other comics and worked closely with his family on the franchise until his death. So I think it was just an invention by him. His name was Peyo, was his pen name, but his real name was Pierre Culliford. He died in 1992. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure it started as comics.
Cyber said they had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I remember that. I'm a Leo guy.
And I think there's well over 1,000 different like Smurf figures that they've made over the years. They're always making new ones every year.
Good evening, Cyber. Great to see you.
They make new ones? So you mean like actual new characters?
They have new models that come out every year.
Yeah.
So that Smurf that I gave Derek, there were only 2 that ever came out that had that exact same design. One was made in Germany,
Okay.
one was made in Hong Kong, but they were just two different toy factories at the time. But most Smurfs are made in Germany. The Hong Kong one was extra special. I don't know which one I gave Derek.
Does it say Hong Kong on it?
I don't remember. Here's mine. Yep, you have the Hong Kong one. I got the Germany. But yeah, this is the one.
There's that parrot.
I love this one. It's got the mushroom. I'm still looking to replace my Papa Smurf that has the he's smoking a pipe. I gave it to Pops and Brock back a long time ago.
Do you guys know Asterix and Obelix?
Oh yes, I do. Those toys are also made by Schleck, the same toy company that makes the Smurfs. So
who's Asterix and Obelix? Is it a cartoon or something?
They are Vikings, but there's one of them's skinny and one of them's fat, but they were a couple of cartoon characters or comic characters. They started as comics,
Right.
as Smurfs, but they became video game characters, and I think they might have made some cartoons with them. They're funny. They're comical. Oreo has a lot of their books, the Asterix and Obelix. That's cool.
Huh. I don't know. Maybe I've seen this before, but I don't remember this. Like, it doesn't ring a bell to me. It was like a different universe you
They
guys
were
are
some
living
great
in.
video games. Oh. Have you
There's
seen
like a movie they actually made.
chickens? Those YouTubers that do the music with the rubber chickens. They're so.
I know. That's what I thought. Whatever you stepped on that shit or whatever you said, like, you was just honking it. Yeah, that's literally what I thought of. Somebody doing an Instagram video or something.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Yeah.
Hong Kong.
So I got the Germany one. And you got the other one from the other toy factory.
Cool.
Very, very slight differences, but yeah, I got a good deal on it. I had a hard time passing. When I see Smurfs, I have a hard time passing up.
Kind of make some bad questions.
Mm-hmm. But I bought that one at there's a thrift store around the corner from Chris Vinci's mycology store, like just across the street, like across the parking lot, not across the street, across the parking lot. But I scoured that place and I saw that one Smurf, and I was like, this thing is so awesome. It was so worth it. When I find my toys, I generally remember where I bought them or where I found them and stuff like that. I have this weird memory about that kind of stuff. I have a lot of toys too. I need to start giving away more. That's why I did that. I was like, I need to get rid of my toys.
Nerdy's like, what dollar store did I go to?
This was a grab bag. I got him out of a grab bag. This one specifically.
Nerdy's gonna start his own thrift store, toys and mugs, right?
Toys and mugs, exactly. Toys, mugs, and ducks.
Toys, mugs, and mushrooms.
There was what was the ducks in a row? There we go.
A big cool name, actually.
Secondhand ducks.
You're gonna have to make a tea called Rubber Ducky. It's gonna taste like rubber.
There's just a couple vintage toy stores around Denver. The big one would probably be Mile High Comics. They have there's a big warehouse. It's like the biggest comic store in the world, I think. But like around the entire perimeter of the entire comic book shop, it's just cases and cases and cases of vintage toys, and it's pretty cool. But that's Mile High Comics, and then there's also Gnarly Toy Box. I like them; they're pretty cool. Then there's Out the Box, and that's like an Arvada, I think. 5280s. I like them. They're cool because it's 5280/80. 5280s. It's funny. And there was one more. Vintage toy stores. I just love vintage toys, though. Especially like thrift at like yard sales. A lot of people don't know what they got, and they're just like, "Yeah, just take it. Here, what do you got? You got 50 cents." I'm like, no. Anyway,
I was gonna do the Tom Petty documentary, but I think I'm just gonna save it for tomorrow. It's like a 3 hour long thing.
Mm.
But that's what I'm gonna be covering tomorrow on Riffing with HB. It's the only news I got, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom Petty, yes sir. Yeah. On Saturday we're gonna be covering K-Flay.
K-Flay?
Yep, an artist called K-Flay. If you guys ever heard of her, she's really, really dope hip hop kind of stuff.
I'll have to look her up.
You probably heard of her music before, honestly. So yeah, we're doing it old school and we're doing it underrated. Yeah.
Cyber Jolie, do you like Vintage Thomas the Tank Engine? You know, that show was actually good when George Carlin was the director. No, the conductor. George Carlin was on that show, and yeah. But I don't care for the toys. No, I could care less about Thomas the Tank Engine toys. But George Carlin was cool. Wow.
Damn, Thomas is smoking over there, son. Damn.
I'm glad the batteries are dead. It's a flashlight, but it also goes, it makes the train sounds and stuff, but it'll do it randomly. Mm-hmm. So it'll just be sitting there on the shelf, and then it'll start making all the train noises and everything. And the light doesn't go on, but it does all that. And I'm like, see, there's a little handle up here.
So that's how Derek finds his way to the bathroom at night.
Yeah.
Choo-choo train. Whenever he's having a mushroom trip that's too intense for him, he's over there holding the car like, get away.
What's that noise out there?
Who's coming in my house?
Dogs are freaking out.
Oh my gosh, dude. What started out such a beautiful night ended in horror. Thomas the choo-choo train flashlight.
Not a
very funny.
It was like $3 at Goodwill. So
nice.
I seen it there. I was like, yeah, you come with me.
Good for the grandkid, right?
Yeah, he comes over. Well, they come over, and they took a bunch of my Sonic dolls that I had. Yeah, they like finding toys here.
Nice. Sonic's great.
MysticJourneyChurch.org. You guys sign up to become a member if you haven't already. I think everybody here already is, more than likely. But if you guys want to try the new Zeta drinks, you're gonna have to do it through the $50 membership. If you guys have any questions about it, just reach out. The email address right there, or to any of us individually, and we'll answer your questions. Appreciate everybody's support. Anything else? See you guys Friday for 5 Agreement Friday. It's the next episode. Appreciate everybody sending my Mycology questions. Oh yeah, one other thing before we get out of here. I want to show people Nerdy Passies out at the last giveaway, or not last giveaway, the last meetup. So these are a couple different apps right here that are just super duper useful and helpful. I'm going to put them up so you guys can come back and take screenshots of the QR codes and stuff like that.
I'm going to be recording the presentation through Restream and publishing it. So I will hopefully have all those links on the video once I re-record it. Because my goal was to do 2 live presentations and then get my practice in and then record it, like as a slideshow for YouTube.
You guys make sure to download the iNaturalist app. Search for the Colorado Myco League or search for Dimitri Wood on there to follow Nerdy, and he'll be able to get you guys your identifications answered for your mushrooms or even for other plants and stuff for that matter. This is a really super great app. It's a Polaris app. You guys know Polaris for being side by side and stuff like that, and it shows land borders for private land, public land, and stuff like that, so you guys can know exactly what kind of land that you're foraging on. And this app called Strava is a great app, so you don't get lost in the woods. Basically, it works through GPS on your phone, and you can go off and forage in the woods and not have to worry about how far you've gone. Or it's typically when you're foraging, you're like, I want to go a little farther, so it helps you not get lost, essentially. But yeah, download the iNaturalist app and get out there and start foraging. And if you're not foraging or that's not your thing, make sure to get involved with your local community through mycology. There's plenty of local groups. Even if there's like legal discrepancies in your state, there's definitely micro groups that people are meeting up and having these discussions. And the way to make it become legal is to have these conversations with your local community. So find these groups and meet up with them, and come back to us and let us know what happened. Report back to us and let us know if anybody's doing anything differently than we're doing. So appreciate everybody's support for being here. We'll see you guys on Five Agreement Friday, and everybody have a great rest of your night. Bye. Remember your strengths too. Bye.